Arunachal is one of the most biodiverse of places on Earth. Its tropical evergreen forests are home to several endemic populations. With this remote mountain state having about a fifth of India's faunal species. The rare capped langur can be seen in these parts, as are the wreathed hornbills. Hunting is part of an ancient cultural tradition here. Food, trade, and rituals are the main drivers of the wild meat hunt. With the advent of modern techniques, especially the use of guns, hunting has critically decreased the abundance of wildlife. But there are some forests where the animals find a safe refuge.
I'm in Pakke Tiger Reserve. The fact that 800 square kilometers of forest has actually survived and thrived in this region is in itself a miracle. How has it even been possible? But I think I found the right person to let me in on the secrets of Pakke. For that, we're headed into the deepest parts of the forest.
I have traveled through forests all my life, making wildlife films. I have seen for myself the incredible role the frontline staff plays in protecting our forests and wildlife. On my journey this time, I am joined by a young nature filmmaker who's filmed in different parts of the world and is now following her quest to find out just who defends the Indian forests. In our adventures, from the deep oceans to the forests in the sky, we will take you through stunning landscapes, observe rare animal behavior, and celebrate the way our frontline heroes safeguard India's wild frontiers. I, Krishnendu and Ashvika, take you to Pakke Tiger Reserve and see the challenges of protecting it. Tangru, from the local Miji tribe, has been a forest guard since he was a young man. He has an instinctive understanding of and bonding with these forests. And he is a free-spirited soul.
हाँ जंगल में हम नहीं जाने तो शांति नहीं आता है पहले वो मेरे पास वो कैमरा अच्छा होने थे हमें जंगल में दिन भर चुपचाप घूरते रहेगा कहाँ क्या है कहाँ में क्या है
Pakke Tiger Reserve, which was set up in 2002, is still largely unexplored. Its terrain is so forbidding, with high mountains and dense vegetation, that making inroads has been only a limited achievement so far. The inaccessibility poses a huge challenge sometimes. We caught up with Tangru when he was leaving on a patrolling mission with his boss, the Ranger Rambia. Hunters try and enter the reserve illegally to take out an occasional animal. Their usual route is to crossing by the river. On finding a metal trap put by them, Tangru and his men from the Special Tiger Protection Force were assigned the task of tracking the poachers' whereabouts. Joining the patrolling team gave us a chance to discover these mysterious forests. One of South Asia's remaining few evergreen forests, where big mammals like tigers and elephants still roam free. But the forests were not like this before.
पहले तो दिन भर घूमने से भी एक भी नहीं मिलता था। पहले तो हम लोग तो कोई प्रोटेक्शन नहीं करता था। पूरा बस्ती वाला शिकारी लोग आके बेट काटने वाला, दूना काटने वाला वो लोग घुस के बैठा था और शिकारी लोग पूरा खत्म कर दिया। और थोड़ा बच्चा वाला भी तो डर से कहीं चिप के बैठ जाता है। तो अभी तो हम लोग सामने जाने से भी हम लोग कुछ नहीं कर देते ना, इसलिए इतना सामने में भी हमको दिख के बैठ जाते हैं। ये जो तापी जो आया, ये तापी सार टॉप से ये पाके तैयार रिजर्व हो गया। तो हम लोग इसे पेट्रोलिंग करने शुरू हो गया। हम लोग 24 आदमी 24 आवर्स घूरते रहते हैं, हम लोग पेट्रोलिंग करते हैं।
किसका पगमार्क है
ये सिविक कैट का है। सिविक
ये एडल्ट है या
ये मीडियम साइज का है।
ये कितना बड़ा होगा? इतना नहीं इतना।
Frequent patrolling of the hills is critical for signs of the hidden hunters. Tangru is so proficient in his jungle survival skills that if he were left deep inside, he could survive for days without food and water.
पहले ऊपर का काट देता है, उसके बाद में नीचे से काटने से बाद में ऊपर काटेगा तो पानी बग जाएगा पूरा, इसलिए पहले ऊपर का काट देता है, उसके बाद में नीचे का काटता है। फिर भी ट्राई करके देखते हैं। वाह, निकल गया।
निकल रहा है। काफी पानी है।
ओए खत्म मत करो रे।
यहाँ पर में ना ये ऊपर पहाड़ हो गया, नीचे प्लेन है ना, बीच में एक रास्ता है, उसमें ये जानवर जो बहुत आता है।
वो क्या है?
हम तो दिख पा रहा नहीं। ओह, दोनेस हॉर्नबिल।
The male hornbill plays out a complex ritual to woo the female. This one was trying to offer her a ripe berry after carefully selecting it. The female wouldn't relent immediately, but did so eventually. First round had been won.
यहाँ में है तो ये बाकिंदा देखो, ताज़ा है। यहाँ में पाँव चाबिए देखो, ये ताज़ा है। यहाँ सामने में होता होगा, तो हम बोला के देखो, और इनको बोला के दिखाएगा।
Tangru had amazing skills of imitating bird calls and attracting wild animals. He showed us a sample of his wide repertoire.
निकल गया ना, हम लोग दिख रहा है ना हम लोग को।
By night, Pakke with his tigers and elephants could be a whole lot different. And to spend a night in the open would be anything but safe. Patrolling trips can last for several days at a time. Night halts are always fraught with danger in a forest known for wild animals. temporary camps are set up with the material available. Tangru's speed and skills, like the rest of the teams, was astounding to watch. In just 15 minutes, a camp would be ready. Even while cooking and eating, the focus of the patrol was constantly on tracking the hunters.
Robin, mobile calling Robin.
ये Robin क्या है?
Robin हम लोग का कोड नेम है, बालूरघाट Robin हम लोग का गेम का नाम है।
कोड क्यों चाहिए?
क्योंकि यहाँ में पोचर लोग आता है ना, तो पोचर लोग आने से हम लोग बालूरघाट बोलाने से पोचर लोग को मालूम चल जाता है। इसके लिए हम लोग को कोड नेम लगा दिया रॉबिन घाट।
अच्छा, पूरा सीक्रेट ऑपरेशन?
हाँ, सीक्रेट ऑपरेशन रखा है।
बस्ती में तो वही शिकार ही करते हैं ज़्यादा।
क्या शिकार करते थे?
वो हरिन, मुर्गी का छोटा मोटा एकदम सी लोग का इसे फांसी बनाता है। और बंदूक तो होता ही नहीं पहले बस्ती में, तो वो तीर धनुष नहीं होता है, वो तीर वही से मारता था।
I'm finding it a bit hard to believe that Tangru himself used to be a hunter. But coming to think of it, that's probably why he makes such a skilled forest guard.
हाँ, उसको पाँव से अपने दिख के मालूम हो जाता है वो कौन सी जगह, कौन से रास्ता में निकल जाएगा, उसको पूरा मालूम हो जाता है। वो शाम होगा तो वो तो नाला तरफ में मिलेगा, तोप में पहाड़ नहीं मिलेगा, इससे तो मालूम होता है।
One of the guards would always keep vigil by the fire, alert to the slightest alarm. The next morning, we received a message that fresh clues had been found across the river. But this challenging terrain could only be negotiated on elephant back. Elephants are the main mode of transport here, especially during the 5 severe monsoon months. When there are incidents of guards getting grievously injured who have to be evacuated, there is no other recourse but the elephants. Back on the hunter's trail, a wireless message from the ranger said that the hunters had been spotted on the boundary of the forest, walking in the direction of the village. Tangru and his men were to prepare for the raid in the evening. And what came next was something none of us were prepared for. While exiting from the forest, we had a rather strange experience. A baby elephant, barely a month old, literally fell from the sky. It had slipped some 20 meters from a hilltop. As Tangru and others tried to guide it back into the forest, it charged them. We all ran to save ourselves. Even a 1-month-old baby can pack in a tremendous punch. In time, we watched the exhausted baby inch towards its mother to be hopefully united with her. That evening, the raid was planned with meticulous detail. Rambia and his team, along with Tangru, were led by a decoy customer to the poacher's hidden stash.
ट्रैप है, समर स्कल है, ये क्या है? ये तो केप लंगूर का स्किन है। हाँ, क्या नाम है इसका? इसको बोला। ये सब कहाँ से क्या है?
ये सर मेरा नहीं है, हम भी दूसरा से लेके रखा था ये सब।
वाइल्ड लाइफ का आर्टिकल रखना, ये सब रखना, सब वाइल्ड लाइफ ओपन से। इसका कागज बना। वाइल्ड लाइफ एक्ट के अंदर आपको ये सब सामान रखने के लिए अरेस्ट करता है। देखो इसको।
हम लोग भी तो आर्मी है, पाके का अंदर में आर्मी है, इसलिए वो इंडिया को बचाता है, आदमी को, इंसान को, हम जानवर को बचाते हैं।
That was straight out of an action film. But what a relief. So many days of hard work has finally paid off.
Though a tiger reserve, spotting tigers by sight here is almost impossible. Setting camera traps is the only means to identify the tigers. Forest officials often make reconnaissance trips to the unexplored parts of the reserve and try to open it up, grid by grid. Tana Tapi, the super boss, invited us to a scientific expedition being made to a virgin lake high up on a hill. A good 4-hour trek to the top. The expedition had a mix of many people who were the architects of Pakke, one of whom was Nandini, a young scientist who had spent 10 years of her life in this reserve. Elephants are also known to be one of the most effective gardeners of the tropical forests. They are great seed dispersers. And the autenga fruit here is one of their favorites.
I'm just going to check if there's any autenga here. Actually, there we go. Oh, are those the seeds? Those are the seeds. They're quite sticky. Yeah. They are sticky. Yeah. That's how it's an effective strategy for dispersal when they actually go in. Elephants are very important because they eat a lot of autenga, and then autenga is also eaten by a lot of other species.
Hey, hang on. I think there's a group of elephants there. Can you see it? It looks like they're eating some autenga fruits. Are they? Yeah. Can you see? Right there.
As for the fun-loving Tangru, he was up to his tricks again, giving a much-needed break to us all. The arduous climb was well worth it, especially when we got the first exhilarating glimpse of the lake with its serene waters. The time had come to talk to the master and find out how he had created such a thriving reserve.
मेरा आने का पहले तो ये पार्क तो रास्ता नहीं था. All park was free for hunters. कोई ऑफिसर भी अंदर नहीं जाते थे, स्टाफ भी नहीं जाते थे. 2006 से वार पुटिंग में रोड कंस्ट्रक्शन शुरू किया, एंटी पोचिंग कैंप बनाना शुरू किया। काफ़ी पोचर्स मारा गया, तो लोग पार्क का अंदर घुसने के लिए मतलब डर पैदा हो गया। अगर कोई घुसता है या कोई हमारा कहीं हमारा स्टाफ मिल जाता है, वो लोग को तो बोल के रखा हुआ है छोड़ना नहीं है।
Tanatapi had also received external support from NGOs such as Wildlife Conservation Trust.
5 years WCT कंटिन्यूस हम लोग को सपोर्ट दिया, 5 मोटरसाइकिल दिया, 2 जीप दिया और स्टाफ को रेशन दिया एंड यूनिफॉर्म प्रोवाइड करता है। जो मैं एसेट क्रिएट किया शायद मेंटेन होगा कि नहीं, गॉड ओनली नोस। उस समय मेरा बहुत इमोशन होगा।
It was clear that Pakke, in a far-flung corner of the country, has had to struggle a lot to reach here. It certainly wasn't a fancy tiger reserve like some others. We heard disturbing stories of salaries to frontline staff being delayed for months. I would imagine all tigers are born equal and have the right to equal protection. But that apart, what was interesting were the new ways of bringing back conservation values to the larger community. As we were to find out when Tangru took us to meet some tribal elders.
Abotani is the creator.
Okay.
तो अबोतानी का बच्चा 2 बेटा,
2 बेटा।
एक मियाँ है, एक मीमा है।
तो टाइगर आपका भाई है? भैया है।
According to Nishi folklore, the tiger and the human were brothers. Somewhere along the way, those legends of harmony had got lost. Tanatapi and the community elders brought back these stories in what was a truly commendable effort and managed to reduce hunting. Pakke has indeed come a long way. And Babu is its living proof. He lost his mother to poachers when he was just 1. Now aged 4, he lives with bullets embedded in him.
Babu's a bitter reminder of where Pakke was headed had it not been for the people that protect the wildlife here. It's actually remarkable that conservation has completely turned around in this park in just about a decade. And yet, because of the fragility of these forests, that balance could be lost any day. And that is why you need true leaders like Tanatapi and committed forest guards like Tangru to protect these forests and the animals that live here. Pakke truly deserves every bit of our support.